innocent and holy light of God, perfect love, perfect love that is the truth of all creation, divine union of love. Love is a word that is used within the world, and it has a myriad of meanings within the world. Everyone has made, in a way, their own belief in love be as it needs to be for that beloved to believe that they know the truth of love. You could almost ask anyone, do you know the truth of love? And almost everyone would say, oh yes, of course. And yet the journey, the perceived journey to the place you never left is really the learning of love. First, to learn what it isn't, what's been made up in the name of love. The word love can be interchanged with any word of God. The purity, perfection, truth of love is the truth of God. The power of the universe is love. To accept that every beloved is the totality of the truth of love is to open the door of learning, to see each beloved beyond form, beyond history, beyond personality. Beyond the roots of the past, all the roles that have been made in the name of love, all expectations that cling to the word love. Everything that the world has made in the name of love in the spiritual journey is being called to be surrendered so that the truth of love can be embraced through the revelation of God. The learning of love is the journey that spans all lifetimes. It is the purity and innocence of creation, and it is equally the truth of all creation. No one is more evolved in love than anyone else. But to embrace love is to embrace God. And in the embracing of God is to embrace your true self and all humanity and all creation. The glory, the grace, the perfection, the light, all love. As each beloved walks this journey of remembering, it is a schoolroom, and it is the schoolroom of love. God is waiting to be met again after a strange belief of separation. As you walk, be open and willing to learn and be shown your true self, your divine self, with a capital S. And that divine self includes all creation. No need to worry about losing individuality in the discovery of love. You awaken to the realization that there's nothing you can lose that has any reality. Returning home to the oneness. Where every reflection is a reflection of love. Where only peace and harmony exist. Where no one ever even exists as a separate identity. And in the oneness, all perceptions of proving worth have been long forgotten. No such possibility in the truth of love. In this moment, affirming love's calling and affirming the willingness to discover love. Letting the prayer of the heart be, show me the way. I must love. I must love because I'm promised I am love. And in the remembering, you come home to love, to your true self. In this moment, affirming, there is only one presence here. It is the life force of God, which is love. And within this life force of God, we live and move and breathe as one. One heart, one mind, mind of God. This sanctuary is filled with love because love is all that exists. No thoughts can change the truth of love. No opinions, no ideas. Love is changeless, as is all creation, perfect and changeless. This universe is all love, and you contain the universe within, and the universe contains you. The schoolroom of love invites all beloveds to learn, to embrace, to melt, to rest in love. There's a prayer that is part of a hymn that is called The Fever of Love. And there is a fever of love. Many beloveds experience the fever of love in healing, in returning to truth. The fever of love is a exquisite energy field that will burn up the lies that have blocked the awareness of love. And the fever of love will burn away those lies when a beloved truly wants to have everything burned up that has no truth. To welcome the fever of love is a leap of faith. To feel the fever of love burning away. The made-up identity is a glorious celebration. The fever of love, I'm here to consecrate with all the beings of heaven that I must forever love. The fever of love we have come to consecrate, to give worth to each other, forever loving each other. Let's all go, beloveds, to unite in this truth of love with all divine beings and our Blessed Mother. In the heart and in our minds, affirming the heart's purpose, we arrive at our destination, our purpose of humility and forgiveness, which open the doors to the truth of love. We are called to a fine study of learning the truth of love. We simply pay attention, being available for the inquiry, and are called to not hook into the personal of what about me. As we extend our hearts and our hands, my mother, my father, help me in this journey of love, to be a child of yours of love and perfection. I turn to find Blessed Mother, as I want to stay forever in the heart of love. Oh, my Queen Mother, I ask for your blessing to open my heart to love, to learn of love, so that I will never fall down again, forgetting. And in the light of true vision, you show me the way. I ask all the beloved beings to help me in this journey with the love of the divine and the Blessed Mother. I feel joy, I feel joy, I feel joy in my heart. Oh, my Father, I thank you for giving me your hand. You gave me your hand to bring me out of the darkness. My Father, here I give you my life and my heart. I surrender to you in the journey of love. You are the one who holds me as I'm still walking in this world of illusion. You support me, you guide me, you show me the way. With humility and firmness, I affirm that I want to learn to love all beloveds. This is a time for union, a time for concentration, a time for purification of the study of the truth of love. Oh, my Queen Mother, you are with me every second in this journey for the holy union of returning to love. I am Mary of Conception. I am seeking to open your heart, offering my love and guidance as your suffering world comes apart. Bring your pain like a flower to open. Bring your sorrow to place at my feet. Tears that are watering my garden in the river of Jordan will meet. Oh, my children, I seek your surrender. Both the path and the message are clear. My Saint John is walking beside you, holding your hand through this fear. Keep your strength as you seek to be humble. Let the power that guides you reveal all the blessings of your holy rapture, confirming you know what is real. All these divine beings, particularly the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, are only wanting to serve remembering, constantly available, constantly redirecting, constantly blessing and comforting. As your suffering world comes apart, is a truth from the heart of the Divine Mother that recognizes that every beloved that is saying yes is going to have their suffering world come apart, because all of the ideas within the world of difficulty and struggle are not the truth of love. And it is an invitation to let your suffering world come apart. It's a place, a leap of trust. Because everything in the ego identity says, I want to be in control. I want to know, I want to anticipate, I want to know what to expect. I want to know everything about what everything means. And there is a place of faith that must be leapt into. That place of faith is the trust that the Word of God is reality. And that love will take you into love. Love will not leave you without, ever. In the past, you may have thought you were without, but it's because the split mind of a separate self had no means of communication that it was aware of. And only at a certain place in this journey does the realization come, there must be another way, and I must begin to explore another way. And one by one, beloveds turn to inquire, to pray, to learn, to meditate, so that there can be a communication. And for so many, the teachings of love are happily devoured, happily ingested, happily invite the transmission of all the sacred teachings. Love will never leave you without the means of healing and remembering. It's guaranteed everyone will remember. Guaranteed. And that's where all the resting occurs, in that guarantee that you don't have to worry about remembering. You just keep saying yes, and love continues to lead the way. On the paths of God, Jesus, the Redeemer, opens our hearts so that we can be love. On the paths of the truth, one needs to pay attention so that we can all be together as we praise the heart of love. Let us all surrender to the heart of the Divine Mother. This is a moment of humility, of forgiveness, and of charity. Let us all move in the direction of truth, learning to firm the charity of the heart. Let us all follow the truth, all of us united, as we learn to sing and dance so the divine will materialize. Let us all go on the path of love with all divine beings, living from our faith in the truth of unity and equality. Oh, my Divine Mother, you are my comfort. You give me love and faith and health, and hold me in the truth of oneness. Nos caminhos do Senhor, Jesus Cristo Redentor, abriu nosso coração para podermos seu amor. Nos caminhos da verdade, a que prestar atenção, para estarmos todos juntos para louvar o coração. Vamos todos nos seguir nesta hora da verdade. esta hora da humildade, do perdão e caridade. Vamos todos nos caminhos, Jesus Cristo Salvador, vivendo de nosso fé aos pés de Cristo Redentor. Ó Virgem Mãe Divina, pois sois conforto meu, dai amor, fé e saúde para podermos chegar. Love is the funeral pyre. Love is the funeral pyre where I've laid my living body. All the false notions of myself that once caused fear, pain, have turned to ash as I near God. What has risen from the tangled web of thought and sinew now shines with jubilation through the eyes of angels. The screams from the guts of infinite existence itself. Love is the funeral pyre where the heart must lay its body. The funeral pyre is a place where you don't expect love to be laid down. But the important element here is that as you near God, all of your personal separate self starts to burn away and turn to ash. No longer wanted, no longer held as real. And every beloved begins the journey of wanting and yearning to be home and willing to turn to ash to return to the Divine Spirit. Not because you have a death wish, but because the burning love of God just disintegrates all illusion. Because it's just smoke and mirrors, so it burns up. All the false notions of myself that once caused fear and pain. There is a place in the realization of healing that is to remember that on your own, in your own mind, pain and fear run the show. There are no lifetimes where you've walked as a light being and then come back to being again asleep. Every lifetime has been about struggle, about survival, about the fear of death. And this is where all the healing is, back to love, truly back to love. I was called to a teaching that is about learning somewhat the truth of love, or what love is not, and how essential it is for everyone to begin to let the untruth of love fall away, to no longer confuse the distortions that have been made of love with the truth of love. And the most amazing element is that when you open to the truth of love, it has no resemblance to what we made within illusion. So the question becomes, in the statement, there is no love but God's, that we are all that love that is God. And the statement of truth says, perhaps you think that different kinds of love are possible. Most do believe that there are different kinds of love possible, different variations, different levels, different amounts. Perhaps you think there is a kind of love for this and a kind of love for that, and a way of loving one, another way of loving still another. But love is one. It has no separate parts and no degrees. No separate parts and no degrees. It cannot have one kind of love for one relationship and another kind of love for another. No degrees, no kinds, no levels, no divergencies, and no distinctions. It is like itself, unchanged throughout. It never alters with a person or a circumstance. It is the heart of God and also of His child. The heart. It is your heart. No separate parts, no degrees. So how then do you recognize love? The love that you are is an open heart that absolutely has nothing to defend, nothing to protect. And from your heart, in peace and harmony, you can't help but love freely. You can't help but offer love freely. If there is no conditions of love, then each relationship of love is maximal. This goes against everything that the world demands. If there is a belief that some kinds of love are more important or deeper than others, then that would really mean that God was different according to who deserved what or what was liked. But that isn't the case. The case is that all love is maximal and equal and perfect. Everyone's heard the term unconditional love. Unconditional love. That unconditional love would mean that there is never a caveat to the offering of love. No one is owed for offering love. Love is not waiting for reciprocity. In the world, reciprocity is an important element that is part of the rules of the world. So in the reciprocity, every beloved waits to see if it's going to be returned. But the deliciousness of love, the exquisiteness of love, is loving without any reservations, without any conditions. Not because someone is likable or that you have similar connections. No, love is just freely given because you can't help but love. Because you are love. And love must be extended without conditions. Imagine that your heart is waiting to open, to burst without reservation, and have no limitation on the love that is offered. Whether it's someone that you like or one that you think you don't like, love is being called to be given equally. And all of the likes and the dislikes disappear. And that's where the true happiness is. Because likes and dislikes are opinions. And love has no opinions. Love loves without reservation. How is it that you could offer so much love, an endless, boundless amount of love? How is that possible? As you offer love, love expands. It expands and has an endless well of itself. Within the world, it's hard to imagine that you would offer love and not be looking for it to be reciprocated. Because it seems as if that would be in the laws of the world necessary. But the truth of the love that you are is so magnificent and so much the truth of God that love never looks for anything. It is complete in itself. You are complete as the light of God. And as you learn the ways of love and the opening of the heart without conditions, without reservation, without opinions, without hesitation, as you learn the way of love, you meet yourself. You meet yourself because you are love. And as you allow the heart to open and be undefended and extend itself, extend you, you are with God. You are discovering the truth of God within. It is very painful to defend the heart. It is really the prison of self-destruction. To try to defend the heart, which almost everyone does, is painful, and it affirms I am separate. And that's why the calling is to open the heart and offer love without conditions, not looking for reciprocity, but resting in the love that is offered. Love's meaning is obscure to anyone who thinks that love can change. He does not see that changing love must be impossible, and thus he thinks that he can love at times and hate at other times. He also thinks that love can be bestowed on one and yet remain itself, although it is withheld from others. If it could make such distinctions, it would have to judge between the righteous and the sinner and perceive the child of God in separate parts. So love is calling, always calling, that it is impossible to not love equally by its very nature. Imagine if love is God and God is love. If that were the nature of God, to give different amounts of love depending on someone's worth or whether you liked them or hated them, we would never heal. We would never return to love. But God sees only love and knows only love. And it's all in divine equality. There is nothing that you can love at times and hate at other times. And yet, how many relationships, everybody's had these relationships in the past of saying, oh, I love them so much, and then the next day they do something that is irritating and you're close to hate. And this is all of the made up emotions that are in the name of love. To love is to have no defense, and to love undefended, freely, without reservation, and that no one can alter that truth of love by any behavior, by any expectations, by any fulfillment, by any role that they may be playing. It's not possible that love be changed. So this is our learning in walking in the journey. We are blessed with teachers. We are blessed with beings of love and sacred teachings. And they all lead to love. I must love. How many times a day will any beloved have thoughts of irritation, worry, disturbance? all of those thoughts say, I'm afraid of love. And yet there's truly nothing to be afraid of. It's who and what you are. And your journey of love is guaranteed that you will remember. Many times it's thought of as the journey is about waking up, which it is, remembering, it is. But the heart is essential. The heart is the heart of God. And it is the catalyst of truly surrendering all the aspects that have been made actually in the fear of love. Love cannot judge. So if love cannot judge, there's no way possible to have opinions and assessments and love, because they can't occupy the same space. Love closes the heart, love opens the heart, and judgment closes the heart. With a closed heart, it's truly painful. But beloveds are so used to it that they're not aware of the pain, of the yearning, of the longing to come home. And one of the clear ways of being able to open the heart, be undefended, is to surrender all judgment, all opinions, all assessments, so that love is free to be known, so that you can meet love and be that love. It isn't something that you're becoming. You're not becoming love, you are love. But the mind of the ego is so vicious that it blocks love out completely. And it is the journey of love to return. Love cannot judge. There is no love but God's, and all of love is God's. When you open to the love that you are opening to God. It is just as difficult in the journey to learn to love unconditionally, but it's also that you are learning to love within unconditionally. That it is a journey back to the heart and the acceptance of your pure, exquisite love that you are. To accept that you are the love of God. That is not arrogance in any way. It is humility. That you can stand in the light, in the truth of love, and declare, I am the love of God. I am love itself. And to embrace that divine truth. Now, this is not something that is really contemplated that much. But love is a law, the law of love. And it has no opposite. It is the law that governs the universe. And you are that love. All the other laws that have been made in the world that are called laws, all the rules that are made that everybody carries, I always imagine that everybody has a pocket, and in their pocket they have a notebook with all their rules that they've made up, that they count on, and they whip that little book out every time they think somebody is going against their rules that they've made. And then they're justified in being upset. But there are no laws except the laws of God, and it is only the law of love. Love is the law, the only law. There is no other. Love is the law without an opposite. There is nothing on the other side that competes. You can't be anything else but love, because it has no opposite. You have no opposite. You can believe that you have another identity, but it's not the truth of you. Its wholeness, love's wholeness, is the power holding everything as one. That is the love that you are. It is the power, the wholeness that holds everything as one. This contemplation is essential, because if love is held as something else that it isn't, then there's going to be confusion in the spiritual journey of what is being healed. You're returning to your heart. You're returning to love. There can never be a difference in what you really are and what love is. There can be no difference at all. Why are these truths so essential? Because everything that's been made up is running all the time. The past is running. The identification of the past is running. The rules are running that have been made. The emotions are running, coming from the mind. It's all running, but it's all calling you back to discover the truth of love that you are. There is no love but God's. And what God is, everything is. That is what you are, love. Love itself. There are no limits placed on anyone. No law the world obeys can help you grasp love meaning. No laws of this world that you have made can help you grasp love's meaning. This is the journey of learning to let go of all judgments and opinions, because they stand so much in the way of love. And most of the opinions are not only painful, but they're usually directed at you. More opinions are coming from the mind of separation that are a criticism of yourself. Love is calling you to forgiveness, to no longer believe in criticism of any kind? Is it essential to not have criticisms of others? Of course, because they are just the reflection. But as the journey of love unfolds, it's very much that self-criticism and self-attack is acceptable. But none of it's true. And love is calling you to deep forgiveness so that you're no longer afraid to open the heart. When you forgive the past, forgive your identity, the fear starts to leave of opening your heart. Not worried anymore about being vulnerable, being open, and offering love. What the world believes was made to hide love's meaning and to keep it secret. This is what the world's belief has been. To keep love secret and to keep it given out in tiny little amounts. When your heart is waiting to burst open and let the rivers flow. Nothing to hold back. There's not one principle the world upholds but violates the truth of what love is and what you are. So this is the journey. Letting go of all that you think you know within the world, what's been made, because none of it supports the truth of love. And love is the center of your being. It's all that you are. It's hard to believe that all the laws that everybody has made have nothing to do with love. So when you make laws, the laws are of time, not you personally, but what the world has made. The laws of time have no love. It includes the belief of death, the laws of degrees and levels, all work against love, saying there are different types of degrees of love and different levels of love. No. All one. Just as you're being called to see the Christ light in each beloved, you're called to offer love and learn the truth of love that has no restrictions. Seek not within the world to find your true self. Love is not found in darkness and in death, yet it is perfectly apparent to the eyes that see and ears that hear love's voice. Making free your mind of all the laws you think you must obey, and all the limits that you live within, and all the changes that you think are part of human destiny are being called to be let go. All the changes that you think are part of human destiny, all let go, and only love is the truth. You are love. You're perfect, you're pure, you're innocent, you're the light of God. That is the journey, to open the heart. Oh, teach me to open my heart. Why do we need to be taught how to open our hearts? Because in the world, the heart is closed. In the belief that there is a need for protection and defense. And the evidence of the past says you're right. But as you surrender the past, it disappears because love opens and lights all of the illusion, and you see it for what it is. That you are perfect, undamaged, unharmed, and you cannot die. You are the divine spirit of love, and you cannot die. There is nothing in you that can die. So when you find yourself upset because you see something that is not there, it's also the calling to affirm love. When I was walking in the journey of love, I asked for my heart to be open. I begged for my heart to be open. And for months, there was an intense pain in the front and in the back where the heart energy was. And I could feel the barriers that I had made that were there and not wanting to let go. And every day was a day of asking for help to open my heart, to learn to love, to learn the truth of love, to immerse myself in the schoolroom of love and let all the teachings and all the divine beings teach the truth of love. Let yourself be in the schoolroom and learn. Love will never not show you the way. It's just that in our resistance, we've put up so many barriers that we've forgotten how to hear and see the teachers that are sent, the divine beings that guide and lead and show the way and demonstrate love, demonstrate non-judgment, demonstrate peace and harmony, the happy road of love. The journey can seem so daunting that it almost feels to each beloved as if you're being taken to the gallows, that it's a dangerous, horrible journey of letting go of what you think you know for the unknown. But what you discover is that it isn't a journey to the gallows, it's a journey to the truth of life. And that your remembering is the most natural thing that could be. Love is the funeral pyre that burns up with the fever of love all that has been believed in and held as identity, rights and wrongs, good and bad, levels and degrees, getting, winning, protecting, all of the laws that have been made within the world that have no value and no purpose, and letting them all be surrendered, and only the truth of love will remain. And you will see everything and everyone as that divine equality of love. You come home. And forgiveness is at the center of your willingness to truly let go of the past. And every judgment that you've ever carried, every assessment that you've carried, opinions, fears, resistances, all of it surrendered into the beautiful transformational power of love itself. Love is what heals. Return to that love. Let love wash over you like a blanket of comfort. Meet love. You can truly open your heart, even if it's inch by inch. When you have the intention to open your heart, it will open. And you will discover the magnificence of love that is you. One with everyone. And when you discover that love, you will celebrate that all the thoughts that you have really didn't mean anything. That all of that time spent in thoughts that were not of love just disappeared, having no meaning. And the happiness that comes with that is glorious. I need do nothing is the indicator of that love. That each beloved, when they awaken to love, realizes, oh, there was nothing for me to do. That love was already here. I just had to say yes. And ask for the healing and want to open the heart and be undefended. Imagine your life without ever having to defend anything again in any way or protect anything. And open to that freedom, the freedom of love, the freedom of truth. The pure joy, pure happiness, pure peace, pure harmony, all love. Let it be. And gladly you will lay on the funeral pyre and let everything that was made up burn away. God's healing is that power, with your willingness. Let it be.